So Matt, once again, welcome back to another review for the horror films of the 80s, going to year 1981. And I figured since I redid The Prowler, why not also talk about The Burning, at least a small condensed version of the review, because this is another one I already reviewed last year in October 2018. But even this, I had like one or two people asking me about it, and The Burning I like. See, unlike The Prowler, which the only good thing I can say about this film is the gore, I think this has good gore too, but I like the legend of Cropsy. I like the setup where you have this asshole caretaker, like counselor at camp named Cropsy, and he's treated these people like crap, so these campers want to get back on him, and they set like this big skull with like these worms and shit on there. It freaks him out, but there's also candles nearby, so he gets burnt. Really good fire effect. I give a lot of credit to the stuntman because it takes some balls to get yourself lit on fire. And then he's in a hospital. I don't know why. For the hospital scene, for some reason, made me think of Darkman. The scene where they visit Darkman in the hospital, and when they're... I don't know why. I know that's stupid. And then he escapes and takes... says fuck it and is going to go back to camp. And before that, he does kill a girl with like some scissors and gets some garden shears, which is his primary weapon. Which I know is pretty dark here, but if you can see, which is a different kind of weapon. And he goes back to camp, and I like. Well, number one, I like the cast. I like the guy who plays the older counselor, Brian Matthews, which actually he was one of the kids that fucked up Cropsy at the beginning. Brian Matthews, I guess he was known mainly for soap operas, but I thought he did a pretty good job, and I liked him as Todd. Sort of the head female counselor is Leah Ayres. I'm like, I know this girl looks familiar, and that's because she's the reporter in Bloodsport who wants to interview Van Damme about the Kumite. So it was cool to see her in an earlier role way before Bloodsport. You also have appearances by Jason Alexander, who would go on to be in Seinfeld, Fisher Stevens, who would later be in Short Circuit 1 and 2. I know that Holly Hunter has a little small role. I thought the death scenes in this were pretty fun too, compared to other slasher films. Mainly the raft sequence, where the killer goes all crazy and apeshit. I know this is produced by the Weinsteins, and actually Bob Weinstein helped work on the script. Of course, the Weinsteins, they're kind of... well, not kind of, they're shitty human beings. But that's not the movie's fault. And actually this was edited by Jack Shoulder, the same guy who would direct The Hidden and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. He edited this. And then after this, he would go on to direct Alone in the Dark, which is a pretty good one, which I'll talk about when I get to horror films in 1982. But the only issue I had with the film... I actually like the music too. The music was done by Rick Wakeman. And Tony Maylam directed this. Tony Maylam is the same guy that will work on Split Second with Rutger Hauer, which is a personal favorite of mine. I love Split Second. I know there's some issues, and I guess the ending someone else filmed it, but for the most part, Tony Maylam made that movie, and again, Split Second's a favorite of mine. The ending I like too. I like the way it ends, where usually it's like a final girl, but this is really two guys who go up against Cropsy at the end, which I thought made it a bit more unique and a bit more different, a bit more off the beaten path. And granted, the kid, Alfred, I wish he had a little bit more to his character. I mean, really all he is he's a guy who has no friends and was pulling a prank. And again, maybe if that character would have been built up a little bit more in some way. My only other issue is when it gets to the raft scene, it kind of blows his load, kill-wise. I mean, after that, the kills aren't as crazy as that raft scene. And again, it's sort of, you have this big orgasm, this big explosion of kills, and nothing really tops that for the rest of the movie. Although I do like the death of Cropsy, which again, I do like the ending, but maybe if the third act you had some crazy kills too, or another massacre that tried to up the raft scene, maybe you did that and built up Alfred, the younger guy, Brian Backer's the actor's name, his character a little bit. Those are really my two issues. Get to the ending, I like that Cropsy has a fucking flamethrower and the two have to fight this guy. I like that the killer, the way he gets killed with an axe. I like that it doesn't end with this, there's no sequel bait ending. I mean, it ends and it doesn't leave it room for a sequel, doesn't end on a downbeat note. I know that's spoilers, but this is a film from 1981. I mean, and it's not like a twist ending or anything. But yeah, The Burning I enjoyed. And I think it's one of the better slasher movies. I mean, I know I repeat myself, but like I said, I like the actors. I like the score. I like the music. I thought Tony Maylam did a competent job directing. The effects by Tal Savini are pretty solid. I don't mind the look of Cropsy. Some people do, but I actually don't mind the look of him. I know, I have a feeling this film ruffled up some feathers movie-wise, and the fact that, like, Don't Go in the House, that was going to be called The Burning, but then this took the title. And then another film, Madman, was going to do the Cropsey legend, but then this film did it. So that's why we kind of probably ruffled some people's feathers. Although I like this more than both of them. I do like this more than Madman, or I don't mind Don't Go in the House, but I like this more. This also has a pretty good trailer, where it's like, again and again. I'm looking at the production info. Harvey Weinstein, known the success of films like Halloween, was talking with another person. They were talking stories, including the Cropsey legend. He created a 5-page treatment in 1979 under the title The Cropsey Maniac. Tony Maylam at this point had only done rock music documentaries. The production company that helped get this together would become Miramax, named after Harvey and Bob Weinstein's parents, Miriam and Max, who helped fund this picture. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'd just be repeating myself, but I thought this was a pretty good flick. And sadly, considering other slasher films did well, this didn't. This really did not do well. Which is sad, because I think it's actually a pretty decent slasher film. there's other ones that did better that didn't deserve it. I think like He Knows You're Alone did better, or fucking anyway. But that's my thoughts on The Burning. If you want to hear a longer review, feel free to check out my review from last year. Like I've said before, if you're interested or if you're ever wondering if I reviewed a movie, just go to my YouTube channel, click on the magnifying glass and type in the name of the movie, or go up there, type in the name of the movie as well as my username, RambleRaff for life, and you can pretty much find it. Or usually, just type in the name of the movie and just put movie review and just flip through and you'll probably find me in there somewhere. But yeah, that's my thoughts on The Burning. I'll be honest, I don't remember what happened to the Blu-ray of this. This shows how far my mind is gone. Might have given the Blu-ray to someone and I regret it. But either way, thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you next video. Later.